What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about what messages the Spirit has for you, because this is important, okay? Source has a message for you, and it's been hitting me strong lately. So I'm going to make as many of them as I'm being told to, because there's something there for everybody. And if you're new here, please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe and comment. Anyway, guys, let's get active, because I want us... Look at that feather in my hair. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna take that as a symbol of good luck, right? So if you have not liked and subscribed, go ahead. Let's get active, guys, because I want to communicate with you guys, and my life coaching business is open. So let's get to it, right? All right. Now, the first thing that's coming up for you is the shakeup, the changes. Something has to shift and change in your life. If you are still in a place where you're unhappy and you're worried and you're trying to figure it all out quickly and you're trying to make things happen, it just feels like it's not happening. It's because there's a shift that needs to be made there. How does that make you feel? When I say that, think about what area in your life that this is coming up, because that's key. It's like literally your body. Listen to your body and your vibration and how you feel to tell you what exactly is happening here, what is going on here, because that's important to understand, okay? Now, you may be doing things in a way that source no longer finds valid, okay? It might not be valid anymore. You may need to stop and take a break from whatever it is that you're doing so that you can rewire, so that you can write down your plans and come up with a new blueprint, because this old blueprint isn't working anymore. It's just hard to do, okay? And you may be given things to make it easy. You might be being guided to have something better, something easier, something that's going to be a lot more beneficial to you, okay? But staying in a space, I just want to let you know this, staying in a space where you are unable to speak up or ask for what you want from the universe and ask for what you want from people is not going to benefit you. You're going to be just sitting there wondering why things aren't shifting and working in your favor. It's because you have not told with authority or asked with authority what it is that you need, right? And we all have choices, guys. Like, we can't deny that part. We all have choices. If you choose to be angry today, you're going to be angry today. If you choose to be happy today, you're going to be happy today. But it all plays a part in how our daily life is going and where we're choosing to be on our journey, okay? So if you are in a space where you are deciding like, hey, I'm just going to blame everybody for everything that's going on in my life because I don't want to take any responsibility. Guess what? You're going to be that person. You're going to be that person that everybody look at and say, yo, they just want to blame everybody for their problems. Like, you're definitely going to be that person because that's what you chose. That's what you're deciding to be. That's what you're deciding to hold on to. That's what you're deciding to do, right? And whether we know it or not, a lot of things start moving rapidly in our life as soon as we decide. So as soon as I decide I want a nice house, guess what? Oh, HE double hockey sticks broke loose, baby. So if you are in that space where you need to shift, where you need to do, let me tell you, that shakeup has to happen, okay? I have to go back to that feeling of what it felt like for me when I decided to get clear and say, hey, you know, we had a family meeting. I said, you know what, we're going to live in a better house. We're going to live in a nice house. We're going to build our house. We're going to have all these nice things. Guess what happened? HE double hockey sticks broke loose. We got sick. Like, it was so many things that like happened in that moment. We were left wondering if we would even be able to keep the house that we were in, because the way that things changed up on us that quick, like boom, within literally like a week. Like, that's how powerful that energy was, okay? So it just felt so tremendously hard, okay? It felt hard. I felt like I didn't know what to do. I was trying to just trying to be positive about everything, but the more and more I tried to be positive about everything, it felt like everything was hitting the fan, and I just felt really, really stuck. Okay. But one thing that I know is that I knew that that shift was happening on my behalf. I knew that because I would literally just say and push away millions of dollars and the thoughts of millions of dollars and all of that, because I didn't want people asking me for anything. I didn't want to feel like people wanted to just be around me for stuff. I didn't want to feel like people were going to just use me. I didn't want to be in that space. So I pushed away millions of dollars. Yeah. Well, we're no longer there. Okay. So if millions of dollars, if I have an opportunity for millions of dollars to come to me, I am wholeheartedly accepting it, as long as it's of peace and grace and love and abundance and wealth and just the greater good of all, right? Because all money ain't good money. So we gonna just say that. But I wouldn't have known that if I had not been through the journey myself. I would not have known that if I just would have stayed in that space of like, oh, we're just going to stay in this house and everything is just going to be great for the rest of our lives. Like, no, we desire something big. We desire something grand. So guess what had to happen? The shakeup had to happen, okay? So it's not a bad thing. It might not feel good in the moment, but it is going to work out in your favor. You know, I had to shift from this mindset of feeling like I couldn't have. I had to shift from this mindset of feeling like, oh, you know, people like me don't have, you know, this. People like me don't have that. So for me, it just kind of felt so stuck, like sticky, like I'm walking through quicksand or mud, and it just feels so heavy, right? It feels so heavy to think that you can't have, you won't have, it can't be. Like, so it's just a matter of perspective and shifting that perspective. But I remember going to take my children to see our first $1 million home. Baby, let me tell you something. Oh my gosh. That was a tremendous, beautiful feeling, bro. Like, I cannot tell you, from somebody who just felt like I could never have that, and I don't know how I would get that, or I had to work super hard to be there. No, this place felt amazing and gigantic. So, you know, I literally just had to put myself in that space. And it's not like at that time when we went to see the house that we had the funds to pay for that house, but it allowed all of us to see what that can get us. Okay. So now we know what we're working for. We know what we want. We know what we desire. We know that. And if you don't know, you have to put yourself in those scenes, in those stores, in that place. Go walk around in the neighborhoods. Like, just put yourself in a space where you can fully absorb the energies and the things that you want. That if I didn't want a bigger, nicer, luxury kind of lifestyle, would I have been to see $1 million house? Absolutely not. I would not be doing that, because I wouldn't have felt like that shift has changed me in order to get there. So all shifts aren't bad, even if they feel tough. Hold on, because it's going to shift and change. And that's the key, because your mindset, your perspective, your mental energy, especially if you cleared out a lot of clutter, things are going to move fast in your life, okay? They're going to move fast, but that takes you releasing what no longer serves you and bringing forth to the front what does serve you, what you do desire, what you do want. Because at the end of the day, that's key. That's the key to a lot of things, like you getting clear, deciding what you want, and then going after those things fiercely, okay? Don't be one of those people that sit around and say, yeah, universe, bring me this, and then do nothing about it, okay? That's like saying, yeah, I want to win the lottery. I'm going to win the lottery, but then I don't play the lottery. Like, that's how you're going to get it. You're not playing the lottery. You're not even, putting yourself in the competition to even get anything. So that doesn't work, right? So it's important that we keep that in our minds, because it's really important for us to understand at this time. And I see 10:11 on the clock, y'all. That's confirmation for somebody. 111. All right. And just being able to walk in your power, being able to stand strong and firm, and like, man, I know this happening, but guess what? I'm going to keep going because I'm getting that house. I'm getting that type of lifestyle. I'm getting that. I don't care what happens. That is mine. You have to stand strong enough to say that. Stand in your power, stand in your energy, and say, I don't care what I got to heal, what I got to go through. It is mine. It is mine. Like, I literally sit there sometime and just chant, it's mine. Thinking about all the stuff that I want. Oh, that car is mine. That business is mine. That life coaching business is mine. Healing millions of people, that's mine. That's mine. I did that. I did that. I did that. I did that. That's me. This is how I actually operate on a daily basis. And it helps me release a lot of things, guys, because I've been through things just like you guys have been through things, if not worse. So sometimes those things of the past, sorry guys, just knocked my stuff over. Sometimes the things of the past do try to pop up, okay? It's that chapter skip test. And I'm going to tell you now, you might not pass all of them. But what it is that even if you do not pass them, acknowledging the fact that you feel like, hey, this is one of them tests, then you can move different. But if you don't recognize that that's what it is, then it may not shift and change because you don't understand like what's actually happening in that moment, okay? Now, I recently had my own, but it allowed me to see that I have grown. I have grown, and I have been walking in my light, and I have been walking in my power, okay? I really have. So just being in that space and keeping the peace and keeping the love can't always be, okay? Sometimes you're going to have to turn up. You got to tell people what it really is so that they can understand and realize like, hey, I'm not going for this anymore. So if it's dealing with people in your life, you're going to have to do that sometimes. And that just means either they're going to get in line or they're going to fall away. And that's just how it has to be sometimes, because you have to focus on you. If I'm sitting here worried about my homegirl ain't trying to shift and change, but yet I'm trying to keep up with my homegirl, but my desire and something in me is telling me that it's time for me to stop doing a lot of things, to not go to that place, to not hang out with those people, and I didn't listen, it just leaves me to opening up more turmoil. And that turmoil can look like pain. It can look like aches in the body. It can look like lack in financial wealth diminishing. It can look like losing jobs. It can look like a lot of things. Sometimes we're meant to be in different spaces, okay? In different rooms with different people. We can't always hold on to the things that feels familiar, because when you're trying to hold on to the things that feel familiar, a lot of the times we're just on that cycle of feeling like, oh, this just what we do. This is just what we do. This is how I am. This is how I am. I can't tell you how many times I heard that. That's just me. That's just how I am, on some real toxic stuff, right? And we all know those people that do that. That if you're one of those people, now is your message from source to let you know like it's time to let that go. Because that this is just how I am thing. No, that most of the time it's a learned behavior. Most of the time it's done out of trauma. Most of the time it's done to fit in. Most of the time it is done like there are so many reasons, but it's not just because you want to. You may have never had that thought to do that before until somebody introduced it to you. So if it's not a desire that you originally had, then it doesn't make sense for you to try to hold on to it. It's time to shift out of that, because this is why that shakeup, that turmoil, that rocky ground feel is there. A lot of the times we need to just listen. A lot of the times we need to heal, okay? And being able to be in that space where you got lots of strength and just being able to be strong to say, you know what? Like, I fully understand that that thing is not for me. And going with that. Because a lot of us have anxiety and stuff about letting that go. And if you have anxiety about letting things go from your life that no longer serves you, baby, you're going to be worse off with it. You will be worse off with it versus letting it go, okay? So you have to stand strong in your power. You have to tell the things that you no longer desire that you're over it. It's not over you. Say it again. You're over it. You're over every choice and decision that you make. You have every right to say no more. You have every right to tell people no. You have every right to dictate to people what it is that you desire and do not desire. Do not ever allow your power to be diminished at the good of somebody else. I ain't gonna even say the good, at the will of someone else, because then they don't respect you for it in the long run at all anyway. Because then they only see, oh yeah, she'll just let me do what I want. He'll just let me get away with it. It's cool. I can run all over them if I want to. See, that type of behavior and energy is an illness on their behalf, okay? So you never ever allow people to just diminish your light and try to treat you like you not the star that shines bright in the sky, okay? Because if it wasn't that way, they wouldn't have been in your life in the first place, because a lot of us are healers. A lot of us heal other people. So if you're that person that always attracts broken people that hurt a lot, people that hurts other people, it's because you're a healer. It ain't got nothing to do with them. You understand what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with them. I attracted you because I'm the healer. You needed me. You understand? So being in that space of understanding that you're the healer, you now take back your power, because that everything that person did or said is null and void. They had to go through that. You know why? Because something about you helped them heal some. And I get it. It sucks being a healer sometimes, guys. Like, it sucks. But at the time, we think about it in that aspect, in that perspective. But karmic wise, you're going to reap your harvest, okay? So just, chop it up to you the healer and let everything else go. Heal from it yourself, okay? Because a lot of the times we don't understand, and it just causes a lot of pain and trauma and stuff on ourselves, because we don't understand that we're the actual ones doing the healing. We're the actual ones that want to shift. We're the actual ones who are meant to help that person heal, because we're contracted to on a soul level. Now, it's not always easy. It's not always easy. And sometimes you just gonna have to step back and say, you know what? I'm going to celebrate me, because at the end of the day, I did that. Whether they acknowledge you or not in that aspect, if you've noticed any change from them since the time you met them, you've helped them heal, right? So celebrate that. Celebrate the fact that you are actually out here helping people. With you healing, people seeing you heal, guess what? Celebrate that. Every time you do something for yourself, you celebrate it. You be happy about it. You write home about it if you need to. Come on. Put it out there to the universe. I help millions heal. I help millions of people heal. And that's how it's going to be. And then that thing that you want, the things that you're desiring, will come in faster, because not only are you transmuting the negative energy into something that you can use for something positive, you're actually leveling up. Build those XPs, okay? Build that XP points. Build that level up. For those of you who don't play games, you're leveling up. All right? So putting in the work that you want to see flourish is important here. Not only is it important, but it's important for you to release the anxiety from it as well. So you know how when we're trying to manifest, we always get to a point where we're just like, okay, I'm choosing to manifest a car. And then all of a sudden you start seeing the cars that you want. You start seeing all these nice cars driving around. You're like, oh, there's a lot of people out here with nice cars. You start to see all of this, right? But then you start to think like, oh, well, the price is this and the price is that, and I don't know if I can afford that, and I don't know, that's expensive. And will you ever get that car with that kind of mindset? You won't. You won't get it with that mindset. So it's important that we decide and get clear about what it is that we're trying to do, where we're trying to go, where we want to go, what does our blueprint say? What have you sat down and did your blueprint? Because I talk about that a lot. What is your blueprint? Okay. So what is your blueprint? Whatever you're working on will pay off for you, but you got to understand that you got to just allow yourself to get through. Okay. Sometimes a lot of the situations that we go through, we're just meant to get through because it's something from it we're supposed to take from it. So every time you go through something that you feel like is hard or whatever, take that time to sit and think and focus on, okay, what did I learn from that situation? And be proud of yourself and allow yourself to pat yourself on the back. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important. That steady growth means something, right? That growth means something. I don't care if it's you getting a higher paying job. I don't care if it's you throwing your desires out to the universe and you start to see like a little bit of action happening behind that and all that stuff. Like, celebrate everything positive, everything beautiful, celebrate it. Stand strong and firm in your power and allow yourself to be in that space where you can say, I'm the winner. I did that. Oh, look at what I did, and be there and be happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if nobody claps for you, even if nobody cares, you have to care enough to be in that space where you can pat yourself on the back and say, hey, you know what? I did that. Okay? Do that. Because whatever you're meant to do, it's going to come in and it's going to be very fruitful for you. Like, it's going to be exactly what you want. I can't say exactly what you want, but it's going to give you the results that you are looking for in the end, okay? And then you might find ways to catapult that even further. So being in that space where you can like stop and look at like what's balanced in your life and what's not balanced in your life. That light side, that dark side. Because I'm telling you now, there is no such thing as just being all light, okay? You have a dark side. Everybody has a dark side. There's nothing to be scared of. That dark side is just that lower part of yourself. And the light side is just the higher part of yourself. Just visualize it like that. You are two halves of one. You are two halves of a whole. So sometimes you're going to get upset. Sometimes you're not going to be in that highest light. Sometimes you're not. But being able to come back down and center yourself and be at peace, that's where you hit the sweet spot, okay? That's where you hit the sweet spot. But you're going to have to stop running away from the things that you know you need to shift out of and the things you need to change in order to receive the things that you desire. If you know you need to stop smoking, stop smoking. It might not be easy, but at the same time, like making that conscious effort in order to heal yourself, to heal your body, to cleanse that energetic body that you have is important. You can't sit there and say, yep, one day I'm going to stop smoking. One day I'm going to be healthy. One day I'm going to because you're not. It doesn't work that way. When you're smoking, it hurts your lungs. Your lungs end up turning black on the inside if you do not know. The breath that you breathe in, the oxygen is not going to clearly get through those little capsules that are literally clustered in your lungs. They have to fill it up in order for you to have a great oxygen intake, right? So you might notice that you start running out of breath faster. You may notice that, you cough a lot. Why? Because there's a reason. And I have a medical background, guys. So I'm just, But at the end of the day, like, if that's your choice, if your choice is to stop smoking, then that would be a great benefit to your body because now you can stop the process of more damage happening to your lungs, right? So when we're thinking about it in that aspect, you can't sit there and say, yeah, one day I'm going to do it and then never do it. Because if you don't do it, then how are you going to actually stop smoking? It doesn't work. You have to physically put yourself in a space where you are literally, and I mean literally, doing the work. That means if it comes to smoking, stop smoking. If it comes to drinking, stop drinking. If it comes to meditating more, then go meditate. You have to do the work. This is why I say take action, hold the frequency, and that's where the part is that you need to be in. That's the sweet spot, okay? You have to hold that frequency. You have to take that action. If you don't take the action, nothing changes, okay? It may change in a way that you may not want. It may change in a way that you may not desire, and that doesn't benefit you, especially when you have so many things that are being poured into you for that shift, for that change, for that growth, okay? So think about it like you taking from the spiritual side of you and pouring it into the physical side of you. And in order for you to get there, in order for you to heal and continue on that journey, you have to do that work. You have to pour into yourself in order to shift and change out of the things that you no longer wish to have. That might look like listening to affirmations. That might look like meditation. That might look like visualization. It might look like dancing, because dancing is relieving to your body. It literally can remove trauma from your body, dancing, okay? Singing, using your voice to say or speak things can actually help as well. It's your voice, especially if it's in your own voice, okay? But being in a space where we are learning to release, we are learning to do the things that we want to do, we are learning to shift from the perspective of the lower self towards the higher self, okay? And that takes knowledge. That takes spiritual knowledge. Like, you're going to have to learn how to do that. You're going to have to learn how to walk in your power and be in that place of just absolute worth and growth, and build that spiritual knowledge on how to get there and what you need to do to heal your vibration, and what you need, what foods to eat, and how to speak to your waters, and how to manifest, and all these things. These are like you spiritually upgrading, okay? You should always view it like you're spiritually upgrading, because that's what it is, okay? You can call it what you want, but for me, I'm spiritually upgrading anytime I'm doing anything to heal self, to grow, to learn, to anything that's going to benefit me. I am growing, okay? I'm spiritually growing, because it's going to make you happier in the end if you got everything you wanted and everything you needed just because you stopped doing this one thing, or just because you learned how to control your energy, your frequency, because you learned how to manifest. Guess what? You're doing the work. You're doing the work, okay? You're doing the work. And if you're watching these videos, you're already in the process of doing these works. Just put things to action, okay? Because you're meant to have everything. Everything you desire, everything you want, you're meant to have it. All that work and stuff you're putting in, it's not unnoticed. It's not unnoticed. Your spiritual team sees you, okay? Your spiritual team sees you. But again, it's like choosing between that light and that dark. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be? Because if you want to stay where you are, or do you want to elevate out of that? Where you want to be? Because that's key, okay? Because whatever it is, it's going to lead you. If you're choosing to elevate from a space that no longer serves you, from people that no longer serves you, you will notice the dramatic difference in your life. You might understand that everything works out in your favor. You may understand that everything is, created by our mindset and all that kind of stuff. But if you're not doing no action, if you're not doing anything to get there, if you're not doing anything and you're just stuck in anxiety mode and fear mode and depression, and you will never see all the beautiful gifts that Source is giving you the way you should. You will never see it. You will never see it because you're so focused on everything that hurts, all the pain, all the anxiety, all the things you don't want, all the turmoil, the things, girl, the earthly world stuff, like you're focused on everything except here. Except here, except healing this, except making sure your heart and clearing your throat chakra and making sure your chakras are all good and healing your heart space and releasing things that's no longer serving you. You can't see it because you're in that space where you're still desiring the negative things. And I get it. Nobody desires the negative things, but at the same time, if you're choosing not to elevate, if you're choosing not to uplift yourself, you have no excuses. You're choosing to stay where you are. I don't care what your circumstances look like. I don't care where you live. I don't care what is going on. It starts here. It starts in your mind. And if in your mind you can correct that thinking, if you can correct that way of doing things, then it's going to benefit you tremendously. Okay, guys? So remember not to hold on too tight to the things that are no longer serving you. It's time to release. It's time to let go. It's time to be you. It's time to fully step into your power. It's time. Okay? Now, I wish you guys a beautiful, beautiful day. And more abundantly, I wish you all your dreams and desires because you deserve them. You deserve peace, love, happiness, and that healing. So if you are ready to start a life coaching, let me know down in the comment box. Just type interested, okay? And remember to like and subscribe on this video. I want to hear from you guys. Let's get active. Let's get active, okay? I want to start going live soon. I'm waiting on YouTube to do their thing, but I'm going to start going live soon so that we can be in the actual, room together, okay? Now, until next time, guys, peace.